Hi, welcome back. And we're still on the story of Abraham. For me, I like to say the drama-filled, power-packed story of Abraham. Did you read chapters 16 to 18? And my apologies, I forgot in the last video to tell you what we're reading going forward. My apologies. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And I mean, as I read it, and I remember even the first time I read chapter 6, and I was like, what goes on? Like, I wondered how things worked in the Old Testament. It just seemed like messy, man sharing, baby claiming, all kinds of things. But yeah, let's get into it. And I think I'm going to start from when um Sarai, because that was what she was called back then, asked Abraham to take her servant, to bed and have a child through her. I was like, how she did not see that this will end in disaster was beyond me. And I think I did a bit of research after that just to even understand, because I was like, why would she make that kind of decision? But I found out that it wasn't anything handmade tale going on. Have you seen that? If you have, you understand my reference here. But it was more about ownership. So from what I understood in the Old Testament, slaves were seen as property. And so Hagar was Sarai's property. And so if she had a child, the child would be her property too. So it was like motherhood through acquisition of property. Still bizarre, but that was what it was. And obviously things went left, as you saw, and Hagar ran away. But even in the midst of the messiness, God still sees us. El Roi was what Hagar called him, because he showed himself to her even when she ran away. I believe that Ishmael was blessed because he was Abram's seed, even though he wasn't the son of promise. And I think that I mentioned it yesterday, how blessings by association was like a thing here. In chapter 17, did you notice the significance of all the name changing? First, God reintroduces himself to Abram as El Shaddai, God Almighty. And then he reaffirms his promise and reinforces his covenant with him by changing his name to Abraham and giving him and his descendants the responsibility to obey and demonstrate their obedience and the covenant by undergoing circumcision. Now, did you notice how Abraham and Ishmael got circumcised the same day? Shows that Abraham wasted no time with obedience. God asked it, he does it. And I was like, God, I need that grace. Don't overthink. Don't analysis paralysis. God says it, do it. Sarah's name was also changed to Sarah, and he gave her the promise of a son who would be born in her old age. Abram was really a very humble man. Look how he hosted the 3 strangers who happened to be the Lord and his angels. If he were any other way, he would probably have overlooked them and missed their prophecy, which confirmed the promise that God had given to him earlier. I wondered if I would have done the same, to be honest, like especially in the day that we live. Like I think about it. I live in a place I don't even know my neighbors. So even if a stranger came and it was God, I wouldn't have any idea. God, please help us all. Abraham's humility and respect towards God was also evident when he questioned him about saving Sodom and Gomorrah for the sake of the righteous. He kept asking, please, because I could imagine it being annoying. Okay, what of 10? What of 5? But then the way he approached God, I was like, yeah, I have to really learn that kind of reference. Meanwhile, Sodom and Gomorrah, those ones were just a shameful mess. They didn't even have up to 10. Sure. But then again, think of the world that we live in today. Sodom and Gomorrah, I've heard, is even better than what's going on here today. A mess. Anyway, let's get to my getting to know God moment here. God made a lot of earthly appearances here and was referred to as the angel of the Lord, which many believe refers to the pre-incarnate Christ. I loved how he appeared to Hagar, who really wasn't initially meant to feature in the plan, if not that Sarah had dragged her in. However, God saw her and went to her and spoke to her and blessed her son in spite of it all. How awesome is that? So God is a God that steps outside because of his name, because of his covenant. because of the promise that he had made to Abraham. It just made him like really just make sure that he perfected everything around him. And I thought that that was so awesome. I know that these chapters are just so packed with so many things. I'm sure there's stuff that I've missed. So I'd love to hear what you got from these chapters. And I look forward to seeing you again soon so we can continue on this very interesting and strange journey. Thanks for joining me today. Have a wonderful evening. See you soon. Bye.